Hello everyone, it's Janet here. I want to share with you my latest project. This is for the Free Spirit cigar box swappers, and one of the members, her house was on fire, so she doesn't have a craft room anymore, so I said I would step up and be an angel swapper for the person that she was going to be doing her swap for. And the theme of the swap was, how does your garden grow? And then it said to make it springy. So this is my take on that. I made a cigar box. It was to be an altered cigar box. And so I just took the regular cigar box and did it like I did the other ones with the Tim Holtz feet. Now for the house, I was kind of thinking, you know, like an old house in an old neighborhood, and yet there's all this beautiful old growth. And the house is kind of peeling paint, but there's all these beautiful, beautiful flowers. So that was kind of my idea for this box. So I made the house, these pieces here for the siding, and I just used regular chipboard like this. And then I put a piece of wood. My camera's acting up there. Okay, I put a piece of wood on the end like this and glued it on. And then I turned it over and then just layered the pieces on top of each other. So that's how I got this effect that you can see on the side. Just because just the chipboard alone wasn't enough to give it the elevation that I wanted. And this is just a Prima window here that I used a piece of transparency as the window that's on top. Underneath that is some of this beautiful lace here, and underneath that is just a piece of decorative paper. So that is the house part of it. So I just used the slats, and then I used some trim up at the top. I used a real deep turquoise paint underneath because this is for Jennifer Jones, and Jennifer really likes the aquas and the blues and the ocean type colors. So I wanted to do the flowers, but I wanted to really incorporate her aqua in there. So then I used the white paint, the crackle, and then the white paint on top of that. This little bench I just cut out of with my silhouette. I have about 4 layers, and then I just painted it and put some varnish on top of that. And then I just have different flowers and silk flowers, and have some ivy running up the side with some flowers in it. And then here I have a little sign that says Jennifer's Garden. And then a little pebble path and flowers all along the path. And most of those are Wild Orchid Crafts flowers. And I used some green moss for my grass. So I have grass on both sides, and I have more flowers there. And then this is just a branch off of my tree. And around here, and maybe in other parts too, the dogwoods are so beautiful in bloom. They're this beautiful pink. So that is my take on the dogwood. So I just used some branches and then used a lot of these little sweetheart blossoms. And then I have a little owl charm sitting up in the tree. She likes owls. And then I made a little swing out of just some bead and a little piece of chipboard. So that just kind of hangs there. So that is my box. I was wondering how it was going to turn out. I get these pictures in my head, and I was real pleased with how it came out. So that is the box. And then inside the box, if I can open it, just a second here. I'm going to put my camera down. Kind of stuck a little bit. So inside the box, I have fabric on the background with a white halfback pearl trim around the edges, and a little frame with a little tilde piece of ephemera in the back of the frame, and a little seam binding and a little flower. Fabric on the bottom with the halfback pearl trim. So that is my box, and I hope Jennifer likes it. And then also in the swap, we were supposed to do a altered flower pot. So this is my take on an altered flower pot. I made this pinwheel right here. I just made it out of white paper and then covered it with an aqua lace that I found at Joann's. And it actually does turn. If you turn it, I made it back on the back, so on a stick, so that you can actually turn it. And then I just put a little crocheted piece and a brad in the center. And we were supposed to use handmade flowers. So I made this flower out of some tulle, some lace, and one of the rosette flowers, and a little cabochon rose in the center. And then this flower I made out of this trim here, and then just cut it in pieces and doubled it up so that I had petals. And this flower on top was just from a headband. And then I made a sign that said, "Friends are flowers in the garden of life," and this was also taken from the Tilda ephemera pack. And this was just a flower I had in my stash. I added some leaves to the flowers to make them look more like real flowers. Then I have a bird here in a flower of that same trim. Some little flowers going on here at the bottom. Little aqua pearl trim. And then I have the lace dangling. I just love this beautiful lace. And some little sweetheart blossoms going all the way around. And then I did want to add some in the back too, just so in case you were looking at it from the back, it would look good from that way too. So I added these pieces here in the back. And this is a flower that Leslie had sent me. So it's beautiful, Leslie. I love it. And so that is my flower, altered flower pot. The pot itself was a pot that I received a plant in, and it was green. So I painted it aqua and then did some white, just some white dry brushing on it to give it a little distressed effect. So that is the altered flower pot. And then I did another cupcake. This one is just a little bit different. The top, I didn't use the rosette trim. I used this trim here that I got from Joann's. I just thought it was so pretty. I had to kind of mush it together so that it wouldn't show, but I thought it was so pretty. So that is what I used on the top of that cupcake. So Jennifer, I hope you enjoy everything. Thanks everyone for watching.